So your focus is first to get people totally and completely grounded into the present moment, to move them out of their head and into their heart or their belly, and then you're helping them to play with their imagination and imagine. Are you having them imagine the game or imagine the sales call, or what are you having them play once you get that far?
It depends on the person and how they're wired. I will go on record as saying something that's probably shocking to a lot of people who are in, who study self-improvement, all that, and that is that for a good many people, goals don't work, or goal setting isn't helpful to them. And the reason why is because, well, there are a number of reasons why, but it's one of the main ones is that they can't focus on what they have to do in the present that'll get them there. And they sit around and fret and worry and get tense about whether or not they can actually achieve the goal that they've set. So with this type of person, I actually put them on what I call a goal fast. You have no goals now. And it seems like, well, how can somebody succeed? Well, they still have a goal. The goal is no goals. And it's no long-term goals. All the goals are daily. What are we going to do today to make you a better person, to make you a better athlete, to make you a better golfer, martial artist, musician, and so on? The goal is to focus on the journey rather than, I want to play in Carnegie Hall and it hasn't happened yet. What's wrong with me, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so it really depends. Now, then there are the people who can do both. They're really good at it. They can have their long-term goal and so on, yet they don't lose sight of, hey, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and then it continues with the next step, and continues onward with another step, and so on. They don't lose sight of that, and so you've got a potential champion there. Like the New York Yankees in baseball, they won 27 World Series championships. After they won the 27, the manager who wore number 27 changed his number to 28. Well, how have they done since then? They haven't won number 28. My coach at Iowa, my wrestling coach, Dan Gable, they won 9 straight NCAA titles. And somebody came up with the idea to put Roman numeral 10 on the uniform, on all the marketing materials, and so on, before it had become a fact. Like it's a foregone conclusion. Well, they didn't win either. That year they lost. So some people would look at, well, you're being positive. No. I have a different take on it. I believe in goals, but I also believe very strongly that in certain endeavors, you're going to make more progress if you focus on the process rather than the goal.
Sure.
And some people, I've had people I can make, you work with them, you visualize goals, et cetera, and it's like they don't make any progress. But as soon as I put them on the journey, on the step-by-step, on making improvements each day, they start making quantum leaps. And so this is where I say the Harvard study that they had the 3% of the people who had written goals and they accomplished more than the other 97% combined. Well, we don't know what the other 97% were doing or not doing. I don't have the details on that.
That's actually a really interesting thing. That study, it wasn't actually a study. Somebody actually, for one of their master's thesis a few years back, they went and tried to hunt down the origin to that story, and it turns out that story is a myth.
Well, that's good to know because I've always believed it was a myth. I just always had trouble wrapping my mind around that. But getting back to the Yankees, this is a huge one. And I know a lot of people don't play baseball, so please don't miss the metaphor here.
Okay.
Or please catch the message here, even if you hate baseball. But there are 2 players they have all these players that they have their own Hall of Fame and center field, and they put up plaques and they immortalize them and so on. Well, Derek Jeter finished last year. He had an autobiographical book put out after they won, I believe, their 4th World Series. And it was called The Life You Imagine. And in that book, basically, he says, everything I ever imagined and set as a goal, I made it happen. And he was 8 years old, and he told his parents he's going to play for the New York Yankees. He's going to be the shortstop. He got a Yankees jersey and uniform and cap, and he hung them on the back of his door in his bedroom. And every night before he went to bed, he would look at these and he would imagine. And he became a shortstop for the New York Yankees in the future Hall of Fame. Okay? Now, the Yankees also have a player who retired, I guess, about 10 years ago. His name's Bernie Williams. Now, when you interview Bernie, who just had his plaque put up in the outfield at Yankee Stadium, when you ask him, can you believe any of this happened? Did you ever imagine any of this? He'll say no. He goes, I still can't believe it. I never thought I was going to be a Major League Baseball player. I never thought I was going to play for the Yankees my entire career, retire here, and that I'd be honored by having my plaque put up. So how can you invalidate that? When I hear those two different kind of stories, you have to say to yourself, okay, there's the guy who was a real goal-oriented guy. He wrote everything down, and he made it happen. And then you have another guy who's, I can't say he's equally successful, but he's pretty amazingly good. All right? Will he make the Cooperstown Hall of Fame? I don't know, but he made the Hall of Fame with the Yankees, and that's enough. But there's a lot of people like this. So a Tai Chi master that I train with, who's in his 70s, we asked him this question. He gets up every day. He practices devotedly, religiously, every single day for hours a day. He's done it for 65 years and has written books, has DVDs, goes all over the world giving seminars and so on. And so I told my students when we had him at my home for a seminar last month, let's ask him if he's ever set any goals. So we asked him, and he said, male, Shimado male, which in Chinese means, no, I never have done that. I never set a goal on anything. I never had a goal to come to the United States. I never had a goal to become a Tai Chi master. I never had a goal to write books, create DVDs, et cetera, et cetera. So how did it happen then? Well, he's on the journey. Really to lock in. His goal is really to lock in on the process and to just every day make an improvement. One small little improvement every day. You do that every day for a year or 5 years, 10 years, you're going to create a success in anything. I don't care what it is.
Sure. It sounds like the bulk of your approach is to get people grounded and rooted in the present moment and focused in on what's right in front of them.
It's definitely a large part of it. But it all depends, too. It all depends. But you think about it. When you use your imagination and you visualize something that you'd like in the future, you have to do it in the present. And when you do it correctly, you're imagining that the future is right now, that you're already there, that you've already achieved the goal, that you've already scored the winning basket, that you've already made the $1 million. You imagine you're already there. So if that's the case, then the present is really where it is. But then again, it isn't, because as soon as we have the present, it's gone.
Right.
So I guess to go further with what you said is, it's correct. I would just add that the focus is to get them to a point where they have no concept of time. That is where it is. Where you are so involved in what you're doing, you're so passionate that hours could go by and you have no idea. It seems like 10 or 15 minutes, but yet it was 4 or 5 hours. And all of us have those experiences, those peak experiences. To me, that's where it is. Get people to the peak experience in the so-called present moment that is gone as soon as it's present.
Sure. Did you like today's show? If you did, ask yourself this question. Who else might benefit from the information I just learned? All it takes to change someone's life is to share the link to today's show. Will you do that? When you leave a comment below today's post, you'll automatically be entered into a contest to win a copy of the book, Mindfulness, an 8-week plan for finding peace in a frantic world by Mark Williams and Danny Penman. One person who leaves a meaningful comment will win a free copy of the book, Mindfulness, shipped directly to their home or business. To keep getting daily inspiration and motivation, scroll down to the bottom of the page and enter your name and best email address to subscribe to The Daily Show, which airs 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Most days, you'll hear from David Wood, my financial freedom mentor. 1 day a week, you'll hear from me. You'll also get several bonuses when you subscribe today, including a free MP3 version of my audio training, Relax. This 40-minute training will teach you how to harness the power of relaxation so that you can beat stress and live a life of peace. When you scroll down and subscribe to The Daily Show today, you'll also get a free PDF of today's message and an MP3 that you can listen to over and over again to reinforce the teachings in today's training. I look forward to seeing you again soon. My name is William Wood, and I believe in you.